Why is everybody so much more confident in me? Is a question I felt like I had a lot growing up because I lacked a lot of confidence. And now that we have social media and we see the Alex Earls and the Monet McMichaels and all of these influencers and all these people, and we're just like, how do they get the confidence to do that? Like, they're not these big celebrities that can sing and can dance and can act. And like, how do these average everyday people get the confidence to do so many things, or get the confidence to post or share their stories? And I realized I had to dig inside of myself to figure out, why am I not confident within myself? And then also, what are some of the things I feel like these individuals do that help them become more confident? I was the girl growing up in school, like my friends would take pictures and I'd be like, oh, let me take the picture. And they'd be like, girl, get in the picture. Or like, it's even been times where my friends and I have taken pictures and I'd be like, oh, let me see it. And I deleted the picture because I didn't like how I looked. It wasn't nothing particularly wrong with me. I just didn't have confidence. And then as I became an adult and I became older, that transformed into more so action. So the confidence I didn't have as a child of probably my parents and possibly doing certain things became me as an adult, not staying consistent with certain things. It just all in all feeling like I can do certain things, right? Because I feel like when people think of confidence, they think of your looks. Oh, she must be confident because she's pretty, or he must be confident because he's handsome, or I want to build confidence. How do I get prettier? And different things like that. And one thing I've learned is like, that's what I thought too growing up. Like I did have insecurities about how I look, but then I realized that confidence also, especially when you become an adult, especially when you get into the big world, is a lack of confidence also keeps you back from things. Like your lack of confidence, yes, is possibly you not wearing that dress because you don't think you look nice in it, but then it's also you not committing to that goal. It's you not going to the gym. It's you not starting that business. It's you not believing in yourself enough to do a lot of things. And I always wonder, how do people get confidence? Like, how are you so confident to do certain things, or how are you so confident to do that? So here are the things that I learned about confidence and ways I'm using to build my confidence. First and foremost, confidence is like a resume. Right? So if you think about it, a job resume has a list of all of your qualifications, all the great things that you did, all the things that you've done. Similar so to if you go into a job interview, you're trying to get a good paying job and you don't have that much stuff on your resume, you're not as confident. But if there's another individual who has a lot of stuff for their resume, it's filled up from head to toe, they've done this, they've done that, they have this job, they have that job, they're a lot more confident going into it. And so I feel like that's another reason why we often sometimes look to other people when it comes to confidence and compare ourselves, especially when it comes to social media. And it's not always a conscious thing too. I don't want you to think like, oh, you just go on social media, look at other people and be like, she's better than me, he's better than me. But sometimes you do it subconsciously in a sense of how you talk to yourself and the things you feel like you can't do. Because if you see somebody else do it, you assume they must have something different than you, or they must be better than you, or they must, something about them, there's something in them that allows them to do that it's not in you. And I say that to say that's similar to a resume, right? The people who have a longer resume, they have more confidence in themselves. Once you do things and once you feel like you build up that life resume, you have confidence in yourself. Similar to how, like, if somebody asked y'all right now or told y'all, I give you $1 million if you could be a first grader in a math competition. Oh, I would be right now looking for plane tickets or where I'm going to go to celebrate, because I could be the first grader. A 6-year-old, I could beat them in a math competition. But I know that because I had that confidence, because I've done the first grade, second grade, fourth. You get what I'm saying? I've done all those grades. And I know that that person, no offense, a 6-year-old is not on my level. But I feel like you also have to look at life like that. And sometimes it's easier said than done. But one of the big things I realized, I don't have confidence sometimes to do certain things because I haven't built up my life resume. And one of the reasons why I haven't built up my life resume, or at least to myself, is I haven't been consistent with a lot of stuff, right? Consistency, I realize in life, is one of the most important things. We're creatures of habits. You're just an individual inside of a body with a whole bunch of habits. And we can lie to ourselves and tell ourselves, oh, I'm this kind of person, or I'm that kind of person. Oh, I want this out of life. Oh, I want that out of life. But it really shows with your habits. What are you willing to do? What do you consistently do? We all convince ourselves, oh, I care about health and wellness. Oh, I care about this. Oh, I care about my family. Oh, I care about... You haven't talked to your mom in 2 months. You haven't talked to your siblings in how much time? You haven't went to the gym in how long? You have not eaten a healthy meal in how long? But you're telling me you care about your health and wellness, but you care about your family. And it's not to shade anybody. I'm not saying that we don't go through things and different things like that, but sometimes we just got to sit down and be honest with ourselves. Am I really the person that I say I am? And we see that through our habits, the things that we consistently do. And I realize like I have to build my resume with consistency, right? What are the things that I consistently do? What are the things that I want to do? But it kind of goes hand in hand, because the reason why I'm not confident is because I'm not consistent. But the reason sometimes I feel like I'm not consistent is because I'm not confident. So one of the things I had to realize with building consistency, first and foremost, is just starting. A lot of us are perfectionists. We have this idea that everything has to be perfect to start. And the idea of something being perfect means there's nothing to add and there's nothing to take away. Now I want you to sit here with yourself and ask you, what is perfect in this thing called life? Think of your favorite music artist. Think of your favorite, I don't know, car. Think of your favorite house. Is anything perfect? Like, even if your favorite car, you be like, I like everything about it. Next year, it's gonna have to be more stuff. Even think about Apple, right? We sit here and tell ourselves, oh, we need life to be perfect and everything has to be perfect. But every single year, millions of people buy a phone that literally we know is gonna come out with a better version the next year. They explicitly tell us there's going to be a new version every year. We know this. Yet we still buy that phone. I say that to say I've realized I kind of have to be about that when it comes to starting things and thinking that I have to be perfect to start things. The idea that you're trying to achieve perfection is really you just holding yourself back. You convincing yourself, that lack of confidence, you convincing yourself why you shouldn't do this thing. Because think about it. How many videos do you have saved in your phone of how to do gym workouts? How many videos do you have saved on TikTok about how to start that business? Our saves are so much, and we convince ourselves that we have to save all these things so we know all these things. And a lot of us even watch, might watch videos on it, might go to school for it. And it's like, you know what? You're just a person filled with knowledge. You're no different than the person that doesn't know anything about what you're talking about. You're no different than that person that never goes to the gym. Just because you saved a whole bunch of gym videos and a whole bunch of meal prep videos does not qualify you to actually be healthy. Like, it sounds kind of like I'm being aggressive, y'all. I know sometimes I come off as a lot, but I'm talking to myself too. I thought that. I thought if I saved all these gym videos, I thought if I saved all these meal preps and all these things and even wrote it down, I was going to become a better person. And I'm still the same person as I was before. I'm still the same person that I'm as equal to the person that didn't even save all this stuff, that doesn't know all this information. I'm just a ball filled with information. And it did not build my confidence because I did not start. Stop having the idea that things have to be perfect to start. I always say your day 100 will always look better than your day 1. Your 100th time of doing something will always look better than your first time. It's just a matter of you figuring out how long is it going to take you to get to 100. That's what you have to ask yourself. And I realized, like, it's not a matter of having the confidence to start. You build confidence with doing it. You just have to start. You don't need confidence to go to the gym. I'm gonna be honest with you. We convince ourselves we need confidence to do this thing. You don't need confidence to go to the gym. Just go sometimes. You don't have to do the hardest thing. You don't need confidence really to start that business. You just need to start. And I realized, like, that what was holding me back. It was a matter of me thinking I had to be a certain way. I had to be a certain person, because sometimes I compare myself, like I said, on social media to other people. And you also have to understand, and like I said, it's a subconscious thing. I'm not a person that goes on social media like, who's better than me or this person's better than me. But I just always felt like it must be something different about them. Maybe it's their upbringing. Maybe it's their this. Maybe it's their that. And even if that thing is different, I also have to be honest with myself and say, either you're going to do it or you're not. Like, don't convince yourself that, oh, because they grew up like this is easier for them, or their parents, grew up telling them they were so pretty and that's why they have this. Because some people have confidence from a young age. There's some people whose parents poured confidence into them. And maybe that is how they got their confidence once they became adults and they became older. But it's like, are you not going to have confidence your entire life because your parents didn't do that for you? Like, that's an excuse. Oh, I'm not going to be confident because I didn't get that as a child. Okay, well, you're just not going to be confident. Yep. It's over. It's done. Glad you got your answer. Like, you have to be honest with yourself about that. And when it comes to social media and stuff, also understand it's a highlight reel. Literally, social media is a highlight reel. People are posting the great things. People are posting after they got that car. People are posting after they got them shoes and them clothes. They're not posting when they were sleeping on a cot, when they were sleeping on a blow-up bed. They're not posting when they were riding a bus. They're not posting on the bus. And I'm not saying that that's wrong. If you don't want to post that, that's fine. But at the same time, I've learned and I've come to understand this is just a highlight reel. No matter what people post, it might not specifically be in their highlights, but it's a highlight reel. Similar to how when you and you want to post a picture, if you're anything like me, before I post a picture, I get a group of them, I find my favorites, I send them in the group chat, I tell them to pick which one y'all think is the best, which one is the hitter. All right, and that's what I'm gonna post. That's my highlight. Like, I got the best one. Like, I took a whole bunch of pictures. Think about how many pictures you take and how many pictures you actually pick. You pick the highlights. You pick the best ones. Similar to when it comes to social media, right? Like, we pick the best. We show the best. And it's nothing wrong with that, but understand that's what it comes to. But like I said before, it's about building up your resume, and it's about also understanding like you're not going to be perfect and just starting, and also in a sense of embracing being uncomfortable. I feel like another issue is we always want to be comfortable when we're doing something, when we're starting something, and it's like, I want to comfortably do this, I want to comfortably do that. And sometimes when we start something or we get into something, we get imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is basically when you feel like you shouldn't be somewhere. You feel like this isn't me. Whether like I said, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's starting a business, whether it's getting in a new friend group, like it feels like it's not you, and it's technically not you yet. Technically it's not, right? Because before you start, let's say you play basketball in high school, before you start playing basketball, you weren't a basketball player. Before you graduated from college, you weren't a college graduate. I think we have to understand that, yes, when we start things, we do feel like an imposter sometimes. We sometimes do feel like, I shouldn't be here. This isn't me. People like me don't do this, or people like, but one thing you also have to understand is like, embrace that, because that means you're growing. If you're constantly seeking comfortability, if you're constantly wanting to be comfortable, that means you're constantly staying in the same place. Like, understand the fact that you are going to feel imposter syndrome. You are sometimes going to feel like, wow, like this is crazy, I'm here, but embrace that and make that your normal. I was recently listening to a podcast about this lady who's really big in commercial real estate, and she sold hundreds of millions of dollars. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe she's of Indian descent. And she was just saying she often feels imposter syndrome because, mind you, she's been doing this for how long? I don't even know how long, years. She makes hundreds of millions of dollars. And she said she often feels imposter syndrome for the simple fact that most of the men, like, and most of the rooms she go into when it comes to commercial real estate and like at that volume of that much money type conversations, it's a lot of men, and not only men, it's a lot of white men. Not only are they not the same gender as her, but they're also a different race than her. And she's like, oftentimes she still kind of feels imposter syndrome. So someone who makes hundreds of millions of dollars that's been in a field for how long can feel imposter syndrome. But if she convinced herself that I shouldn't be here, if she convinced herself that I want to be in a room where people look like me, or I want to be in places and spaces where I feel comfortable, she wouldn't be where she is. Like, stop seeking comfortability, right? Because you can't build your confidence in comfortability. You can't build your confidence with always being in places and spaces that you're used to. Like I said, trying to look for that perfectionism. And I don't know, I feel like it is a give or take, and I feel like it is something that you have to really learn how to pour into. But when it comes to like the confidence within yourself, I think also it's like taking care of yourself. Self-care is so important, and I feel like people sometimes definition of self-care becomes other people's recognition, in a sense of, I personally feel like self-care are the things that you do that are for you. The things that you do, no matter who sees it, no matter who knows about it, you do it for yourself. And a lot of times we find self-care synonymous with other people's care. Oh, I'm so sorry. In a sense of, we do things only because other people would see it, but we qualify it as self-care. Whether it's getting your nails done, your hair done, different things like that. And it's nothing wrong with that, right? It's nothing wrong with wanting to look presentable, but at the same time, I feel like it takes away from like the self idea of it and doing things genuinely for you. For example, me, I wear pajamas every night. I wear sat in pajamas every single night. And well, I remember when I first did that, my friend had said something to the effect of like, nobody's gonna see you. Like, why are you, like, you could just wear a t-shirt. Like, nobody's gonna see you wear pajamas. But I was telling her, like, I don't care. I'm doing this for me. In a sense of doing things that romanticizing your life, doing things that make you feel good, even if it's a matter of you drinking some juice out of a wine glass. In a sense of nobody's gonna see it, nobody's gonna know about it, but you're genuinely doing things for you. And I feel like especially during this time, because it's the winter time, so people aren't outside as much. A lot of people do things such as work from home, such as myself. And a lot of times we lack self-care, right? Because we're so used to doing things for other people's presentation that like we don't sometimes keep up with ourselves. I'm gonna be honest. In a sense of, because we feel like we're not seeing nobody. Nobody's gonna see us. Why am I trying to look good for this person, good for that person? But it's like you're not trying to look good for them. You're trying to do this for you. And I try to put myself in a mindset of, you know, you're gonna chill with a guy or go on a date with a guy or whatever the case may be. Have that mindset. Think about how you want your hair to look. Think about how you want your lashes to look. Think about how you want your nails to look. Think about how you want to present yourself to that individual and show up as that individual. Because we have to be honest with ourselves. Our appearance sometimes is synonymous with our confidence. And it's like sometimes we wonder why we're not always confident. It's because we're not keeping up with ourselves. And I'm not saying you have to wear $1 million lashes or you had to have the $1 million wig, but there's certain things you could do. For example, these lashes that I have on now, these are the cluster lashes. I literally just did them before this video. It took me about 20 minutes. They stay on for a few days. I'm good. After this video, I'm putting on some press-on nails because I got them from Amazon. They last me a good while. They're cute. Love the shape. Goodie. You get what I'm saying? I'm also going, this is a bang wig. I'm going to straighten it and get it together. I say that to say, like, doing things in a sense of for you. No one might not see you, no one might not, but it gives you that confidence. Like I can honestly say I have more confidence personally when I'm more put together than when I just feel like I'm walking into the store real quick or I'm just doing something and I'm not that put together. Like it just, let's just be honest, it's a different confidence that you radiate when your hair is done, when your nails are done. And you don't have to spend $1 million to do these things. These lashes or whatever, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I don't remember how much I paid for them. Probably like $25, something like that. Maybe 30, because I actually did get the sealant and the glue. $30, something like that. But they last me more than one use. The press-on nails, I got a pack of like 300 for $30. You don't have to get that many. You probably could get like a pack of 150. I don't know why I got the biggest one. But anyway, they're not that expensive. Like this bang wig, all right, not gonna lie to y'all, I paid a decent amount for it, but it's a bang wig and I've had it for like 2 years now, and all I gotta do is straighten it, pop it on myself, don't have to pay for an install. I say that to say, don't put yourself in a position of, oh, I can't afford to do this, or oh, I can't afford to do that. Like there's a lot of things that you can do inexpensively. Like we have TikTok, we have YouTube. You can search up things, figure out how to do things. They're very easy, they're very inexpensive. And it's like, I can put myself together and be under $100. That's pretty good for me. I don't know about y'all, but for me, that's pretty good. And I just say that to say, like, keeping up with yourself and really doing forms of self-care for yourself, not feeling like, oh, I'm doing this because people are gonna see me, or I'm doing this just because that becomes a standard for you, right? You're building up your standards for yourself. You're building up the standards for how you want to present yourself and how you want to show yourself. And I think that's one of the biggest things when it comes to building confidence. And the fear of failure. A lot of people have the fear that they're gonna fail, that they're not gonna be able to do something. But one thing I'm gonna tell you is you're going to fail. If no one's going to tell you, I'm going to tell you, you're going to fail. Stop having the fear of failure. Stop having the fear of, oh, what if it doesn't work out how I want it to be? It's probably not. What if it doesn't end up how I want it to? It's probably not. First and foremost, just because something doesn't end up how you want it to be does not qualify it as a failure. Because think about if you would have gotten a lot of the things that you wanted in your life. Think about when you were 15, 16, 17. Think about when you were young, when you were dating, or you were just trying new things. If your life would have ended up exactly how you wanted it to be at that time. Yeah, where will we be? But also you have to understand that failure is the only constant in life. I've talked about it before on my channel, but Failure is the only constant in life. You are going to fail. It's not about failing. It's about what are you going to do when you get up? What are you going to do when you have to go again? When you started walking, what happened? You've probably fallen a lot of times. When you were in school, you've had tests that you failed. You know what you had to do? You had to figure out why you failed that test. You had to get it together so you can graduate. Failure is constant. You're going to go to the gym and you're going to probably do a machine wrong and it might strain your back a little bit. But you know what? You ain't going to do it like that again. I say that to say the fear of failure is just the fear of not doing something. It's the fear that's holding you back. It's the fear that goes hand in hand with perfectionism. You want everything to be perfect. You want things to be exactly the way you want it to be, or you qualified as a failure, or you feel like if things don't end up how you want it to be, it's a failure. Understand you're going to fail at things. If you don't want to fail at nothing, you don't want to try nothing new. And if you don't want to try nothing new, that means you're okay with where you are at life. So, I mean, there's that. You don't want to make any more money. You don't want to get in the gym, get healthier. You don't want to do anything. You want your life to be exactly how it is because you're afraid of failure. And I know it sounds harsh, but embrace it. Embrace that was crazy. Embrace the fact that things may not end up the way you want them to be. Embrace the fact that, you know what? I might not get what I want out of this, but to learn from it. Because if you keep looking at things as failure, you're going to keep experiencing the same things in different forms over and over and over. Just why you keep dating the same man in different bodies and getting the same results, because you keep looking at their relationship as failure. What are you not learning from that relationship? What are you not learning from this thing called life? Like, there's so many things that we've tried again and again, and it causes us to be afraid to try new things because we remember that failure, whether it's conscious or subconscious. We remember when we told ourselves we were going to commit to ourselves and we didn't do it. We remember when we told ourselves we were going to do this thing, but then we stopped doing it. And there's something in the back of our mind that's like, you're going to stop again. You're not going to do it. You're not going to be able to do it. And whether you realize it or not, you're listening to that thing, because that thing is telling you, no, we don't want to be uncomfortable. We want to be comfortable. We want to be warm. Please. We don't want to fail. And that's what keeps you where you are. And that's another reason why people don't build the confidence to try new things, to go into new things, because they have the fear of failure. But to have the fear of failure, in my opinion, is to have the fear of life, to be afraid to experience life. Life is failure. As messed up as it may sound, there's nothing that you've done in life that you felt like you did completely perfect, that you haven't had to learn from, that you haven't had to dust yourself off from and get up from. So I say that to say, don't convince yourself that you're not going to do something. You're not going to start something. You're not confident in something because you might fail at it. Because that's the same thing as saying, I'm not going to try nothing new, or I'm not going to do anything at all. You might as well not even leave the house, because you know what? You might fall and trip down the steps going into your car. Failure can happen, but it's learning from it and then not allowing it to happen again. And the final one I really want to talk about is building up confidence mentally, right? Because I talked a lot about like the physical things you can do, but also mentally, in a sense of like building up your mind. I've really been into lately listening to podcasts, reading books. I read a mixture of like self-growth, self-help books, and then I also try to read, lately I've really been really big on like thriller books and mystery books, because I try to read books that like I will watch TV shows or movies of, and I'm really big on like thriller type of mystery movies. And I promise y'all, I've literally read 2 books this week, and they both were like 350 pages, 300 something pages, like I guess kind of like an average size book. I read them in 2 weeks. Later on, I'm going to Barnes & Noble and picking up another book. And I'm not a fast reader. I don't want y'all to think like, oh, you must just be. No, but it's similar to watching a TV show, right? Think about if you like this TV show and they have all the seasons already there. You're going to binge watch it. And that's how I've been with reading these books. Like, I literally be inside my bed and I'm reading for hours on end. And I know some of y'all may think y'all can't do it, or y'all may feel like, yeah, I don't know if I can do it. Trust me, if you find a book that you really like, it feels like a TV show. You want to know, like when you end a chapter, you're like, wait, so what happens next? Like that, it's cliffhangers. Now I said it has to be a good book, right? That's why I said it. I feel like it has to resonate with the kind of TV shows and movies that you like. But then also self-help and self-growth books are good as well. Just as far as getting you to, I think me personally, is getting me to have a different mindset about different things, a different outlook about different things, and all around do that. Like I said, listening to podcasts. Also, the kind of music you listen to. I've definitely this year changed the music that I listen to. Like, I'm not a mom. I'm not gonna sit here and tell y'all, oh, don't listen to certain stuff. But like, sometimes you have to be honest with ourselves. It's cool when you're going out with your friends, when you're having fun, when you're at an event. But like, sometimes you really have to listen to some of the music we listen to. I don't know about y'all, but for me personally, and just be like, this is BS. Like the stuff that people be saying sometimes in music is like, just you have to really think, like, you wake up and you're listening to this. Like now, even nowadays, I don't wake up and listen to music anymore. The first thing I listen to is a podcast. In a sense of like, how you start your morning is oftentimes the preview for your day. And a lot of times, I used to start my morning listening to crazy BS. And I used to just think that was just like, yeah. And then I'm like, why my day look like this? Why I feel like this? Because you started on low vibrations, right? Let's be honest about that. What are you intaking? I feel like when it comes to our confidence, it comes to all of the things that we're intaking, we're allowing into our life. The people that you're following on social media. Stop following people on social media just because you've known them since middle school. If that boy is a weirdo, unfollow him. I feel like I was like that for a long time. Like, I didn't want to unfollow people because I didn't want people to think it's like a beef or a problem. And it's like, it's no problem, but you're just a weirdo. Let that weirdo be a weirdo and unfollow that person. Like, I'm very big on like my energy. I'm very big on like who's in my life, because that all goes hand in hand with your confidence. And you're wondering why you're not confident. Yeah, because that friend that you have, every single time you show her a picture of you, she always points out something bad about it. Yeah, because that boyfriend of yours, every single time you tell him you want to start something new, he always convinces you the reasons why it's not going to work and it's going to fail. And it's like, confidence comes in all forms and it comes in all shapes. But you have to understand, first and foremost, you're never going to be completely confident. Never. Like, even the people you may see on social media that are so beautiful and so this and they have all this money, they have their own insecurities. But like I said, social media is a highlight reel, so we don't see it. But understand, like, you are sometimes going to feel like an imposter. You are sometimes going to feel like, you know, should I be here or should I be doing this? But the biggest thing, committing to yourself to start, is so important. And just honestly, I'm trying to wrap it up so it don't sound crazy, because y'all be rambling sometimes. But honestly, I just feel like I've just learned to understand it's a give and take process, and I just need to pour more into me. A lot of times it's like either we've been giving to so many other people, or it's just in a sense of like we just aren't confident in ourselves to commit to things, to do things, to post that picture, to wear that dress. And it's just like, first and foremost, people are going to judge you regardless. So do what you want to do. But then at the same time, remind yourself, like, have I built up that resume? Sometimes you do have to build up your confidence, if that's okay, but you build up your confidence from doing it. You weren't confident to get to the second grade until you got to the first grade. You weren't confident enough to graduate high school until you went through middle school. Like, understand it's going to be a give or take. Don't always assume that you have to start, you know, at the end. You get what I'm saying? Like, even me with going to the gym and starting back going to the gym, literally, I just went on the treadmill for like 30 minutes. And some people may say that's it. Yeah, because I had to build up my confidence of actually going to the gym. Because that's one of the hardest things too, just getting there. So I'm not pressuring myself, well, yeah, you got to use this machine, you got to use that machine. I'm just going. Start slow. Start with the little things. Start with the little action steps and build them up. We try to jump into the pool. We try to jump into 12 feet. And then we be like, I'm drowning. Yeah, girl, you don't know how to swim. Start at a kiddie pool. Start slow and build up your confidence in yourself with the little things. With the little things that you're consuming, you're allowing in your life, your self-care, how you're speaking to yourself. Like, really, like, even now I'm very big on like bad negative self-talk. Like, sometimes when I do things, I'm like, yo, you're so stupid. Now I check myself like, no, you just didn't know. And some people may say it's not that serious, but if you think about it, like, how do you even talk to yourself? Would you allow a friend to talk to you like that? Would you allow a boyfriend, a girlfriend to talk to you like that? No, so don't talk to yourself like that. Like, I don't know, it is a give or take. It is something that you constantly have to improve on. But one thing I'm learning about building up this thing called confidence is that I'm not always going to have it all together. I'm not always going to be perfect with it, but that's not an excuse for me not to start things, and that's not an excuse for me to not try. All in all, it comes with trying things, it comes with starting things, and if nobody's going to believe in you, you believe in you, you know? You only got one life, so let's live it. But as always, thank you guys so much for coming to my channel. My name is Shamaya Tiara. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And comment below any things that you guys suffer when it comes to confidence, or if you've done anything that has helped build your confidence. Let me know in the comment section, because we're on this journey together, this self-discovery journey, this finding out ourselves, our best self, our highest self, whatever. We're doing that, right? In 2024 and beyond. So thank you guys so much, and have a great one.